Science was never meant to feel like this. Somewhere beyond the bright lights of laboratories and the reassuring language of progress, there exists a shadowy edge of experimentation where curiosity turns reckless and ethics begin to blur. This is the place where science stops asking "should we" and only asks "can we?"
Ever wondered where you really come from? Not the stories, but the science. On this channel, we decode real DNA, uncover lost ancestries, and bring ancient genomes to life through cinematic storytelling. If that excites you, subscribe for weekly insights. Like the video to support science-based history, and drop a comment. Your questions help guide what we explore next.
In this unsettling space, researchers have crossed boundaries that once seemed untouchable, fusing species that were never meant to meet. The result is not just discovery, but creatures that look like they crawled straight out of a nightmare. Hybrids that challenge biology, morality, and our understanding of what it even means to be human. These are not myths. These are not urban legends. Some were born in secret labs, others emerged by accident, and a few happened naturally, reminding us that nature itself can be just as disturbing as human ambition. From human-animal chimeras to bizarre cross-species hybrids, these experiments raise terrifying questions. Are we unlocking the future of medicine or opening doors that should have stayed locked forever? Brace yourself, because once you see how far these experiments have gone, there's no unseeing it. This is the chilling world of terrifying crossbreeding experiments straight from hell. One of the most disturbing stories to ever surface came from a quiet rural village where no one expected to become the center of global shock. A farmer went out to check on his livestock, expecting nothing more than a routine morning. But what he found left him frozen in place. One of his goats had just given birth, and what lay on the ground barely resembled anything he had seen before. The newborn had the body of a goat, but its face told a very different story. Its facial structure appeared eerily human, a flattened nose, defined lips, a jawline that looked far too familiar. The resemblance was so unsettling that photos spread like wildfire, sparking fear, disbelief, and a wave of dark speculation. Almost immediately, whispers began circulating online. Was this the result of secret genetic tampering? Had someone experimented on animals in ways the public was never meant to know about? While scientists were quick to suggest deformities or rare genetic mutations, many weren't convinced. The timing, the appearance, and the lack of clear explanations fueled conspiracy theories about underground crossbreeding experiments and unethical DNA manipulation. What made the situation even more disturbing was what happened next. Buyers began offering money for the creature. Some wanted it for research, others for private collections. A few were driven by superstition, believing the hybrid held supernatural significance. Despite the lack of concrete proof linking the birth to human intervention, the incident reopened a terrifying debate. If science has already created human-animal chimeras in labs, how can anyone be sure this wasn't something more? Whether it was a tragic natural anomaly or something far darker, the image of that goat-human hybrid remains burned into the public imagination, a haunting reminder that once boundaries are crossed, the consequences may not stay hidden. And disturbingly, this was only the beginning. Not all terrifying hybrids appear suddenly or by accident. Some have existed quietly for centuries, hiding in simple sight, their strange features dismissed as folklore or coincidence. One such creature is a breed of sheep so unusual that even seasoned farmers do a double-take the first time they see it. At a glance, it looks almost biblical, a sheep with multiple horns, sometimes 4, sometimes 6, twisting out from its skull in unnatural symmetry. Its coat is sharply patterned, dark wool splashed with stark white, giving it an appearance that feels deliberate rather than random. This is the Jacob sheep, one of the oldest known sheep breeds in the world. Its appearance alone has fueled generations of speculation. Unlike most sheep, its body structure is slimmer, almost goat-like, with a narrow triangular face and an alert, almost watchful expression. The horns are its most unsettling feature, thick, curved, and often spiraling in multiple directions, giving the animal an almost demonic silhouette.
The breed's name is tied to a strange biblical reference. In the book of Genesis, Jacob is said to have selectively bred livestock to produce spotted and striped animals. Some believe this sheep mirrors that ancient description too closely to be coincidence. Despite its long history in the British Isles, no one can definitively explain where the Jacob sheep originated. Geneticists suggest it may be the result of ancient selective breeding, but others aren't so sure. Its resistance to parasites, unusual horn growth, and hardiness in extreme environments make it stand apart from typical domesticated sheep. For some, the Jacob sheep is simply a fascinating relic of agricultural history. For others, it's a reminder that humans have been manipulating animal genetics far longer than we like to admit. And if ancient breeding could produce something this strange, it raises a chilling thought. How far might modern science go with tools that are far more precise and far more dangerous? That question becomes impossible to ignore when we step into the realm of deliberate human-animal fusion. In a controversial leap that stunned the scientific world, researchers successfully injected human stem cells into pig embryos, marking one of the first confirmed creations of a human-animal chimera. This wasn't science fiction, this was real. Scientists began by editing the DNA of pig embryos, disabling the genes responsible for growing a specific organ, such as a heart. Into that biological void, they introduced human stem cells, allowing them to grow and integrate alongside animal cells. The goal, at least on paper, was noble: to grow human-compatible organs inside animals, potentially saving countless lives and solving the global organ shortage. But the method sent shockwaves through the public. These embryos were implanted and allowed to develop for nearly a month before being terminated. During that time, human cells actively grew inside a non-human host, blurring the line between species in a way that deeply unsettled ethicists. Critics warned that once human cells begin integrating into an animal's nervous system or brain, the definition of humanity itself becomes dangerously unclear. What happens if an animal begins developing human-like cognition? Who bears responsibility for its suffering? Supporters argue strict controls are in place, but history has shown that scientific boundaries tend to shift once breakthroughs are achieved. For many, the idea of growing human organs inside animals feels less like progress and more like a warning, a reminder that the road to medical miracles may be paved with ethical compromises we're not prepared to face. And if merging humans with pigs sounds disturbing, the next experiment feels like something ripped straight from a twisted fairy tale. Some scientists have reportedly attempted to blend the genetic material of dogs and rabbits, creating creatures that defy common sense. The resulting animals were said to resemble small white dogs, but with unexpected traits: skittish movements, sudden leaps, behavior that felt distinctly rabbit-like, loyal yet nervous, affectionate yet unpredictable. While supporters claimed the experiment could help researchers understand genetic compatibility across species, critics saw something far darker: creatures born not out of necessity, but curiosity. Living experiments forced to exist in a biological limbo. The question lingered in the air. Just because something can be done, does that mean it should be?
And history suggests this question has been ignored before. Because decades earlier, one scientist tried to cross a line so extreme that even today it sends chills down the spine. History shows us that when science is left unchecked, curiosity can turn dangerous. In the early 20th century, a Soviet biologist named Ilya Ivanov set out to prove that humans and apes could be crossbred. Backed by government funding and driven by ambition, he believed the boundaries between species were not fixed, but obstacles waiting to be overcome. His plan was chillingly direct. Ivanov traveled to Africa and attempted to inseminate female chimpanzees with human sperm. When that failed, he proposed something even more disturbing, using human women as test subjects for ape insemination. Volunteers were reportedly found, but before the experiment could proceed, political chaos and logistical failures brought the project to an end. No hybrid was ever officially born, but the fact that the attempt was made at all still haunts scientific history. And that is the thread connecting every creature you've seen in this video. From bizarre animal hybrids to human-animal chimeras grown in laboratories, each experiment pushes the line a little further. What once seemed unthinkable slowly becomes acceptable, until the unthinkable becomes reality. Some of these hybrids exist naturally. Others were born from deliberate human interference. But the result is the same: a growing list of beings caught between worlds, unable to truly belong to either. The real horror isn't the creatures themselves, it's us, our willingness to play with life, to bend nature to our will, and to justify it in the name of progress. These terrifying crossbreeding experiments force us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Just because science gives us the power to create doesn't mean we have the wisdom to control what comes next. So the question remains, are these hybrids warnings from nature or previews of what humanity is willing to become? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if this video made you uneasy, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay curious. Some stories are too disturbing to ignore.